And welcome to Warrior Wednesday. I'm happy to see all of you this morning or today, whatever time you're doing this practice. Today we are going to do a rooting practice, a root chakra practice. And I decided to do this week because so many people, like Tiffany mentioned, are in this state of flux right now. So the back to school thing is a big issue. Whether you're a kid, a parent, or a teacher, or an administrator, that's a really big change that's happening right now. And it's always unsettling, but especially this year where there's still so much up in the air. A lot of people trying to teach their kids at home, and it's just a lot. In addition to that, as Gail mentioned, we are in the middle of the Democratic National Convention, and so politics are heating up right now. And it just feels to me like a really good time to get grounded, even just for a few minutes, to find our feet on the earth, to pause in the middle of the crazy, and to do a practice that's designed to lessen anxiety. So this is like anti-anxiety medication for this hour. So you might not be able to do this right now, but sometime today, I'd love you all to do two things. And I'd like you to just go outside and find one or two heavy stones and keep nearby you green growing plants. Okay, those are two things that we can immediately do to remind ourselves to get grounded. If you live in a place with a garden or a yard, your homework for the rest of the day is to get outside and put your hands in the dirt, put your feet on the earth, bare feet, and maybe even lay on the earth. Like get as much of your body on the earth as you possibly can. If you don't live in a situation where you can do that, I want you to call a friend and see if they'll let you help them weed their garden today. It's a really rooting root chakra activity. Okay. So this idea that we're going to use today of like imagine holding heavy stones in your hands is really helpful in situations of anxiety. Like literally weigh yourself down. So we're going to start with a seat. And we'll start with moving around so that both of the sitting bones feel plugged into the earth. And they might be plugged into a chair or a cushion or maybe straight down on the earth. But I want you to feel that both sides of your pelvis connected to the earth. And when you have that connection, those are your roots. Lift up from there, like the stem of a plant or the trunk of a tree. Lift up away as you push your roots into the earth further. See if you can do both, rooting down and lifting up. Place your hands on the earth. So reach your hands to the sides of you and let your fingers touch the floor or the ground near you. If you're on a chair, put your hands on the chair. And then close your eyes and start to notice breath coming in and out of your nose. And a very simple mantra that really helps is, I am here. I am here. That took us 1 minute to get grounded and rooted here. And for a child that's in a classroom experiencing some anxiety, that can be a really useful tool. Find your seat, touch the chair or the earth, and take a deep breath through your nose. I am here. We'll be holding poses a little longer today, giving attention to the parts of the body that are touching earth. So just notice breath as you sit here in this shape. And then bring yourself around into a tabletop position, creating now a new foundation. Knees on the earth and hands on the earth. And maybe toes, either the tops of your feet or toes tucked under. But before you move, feel the foundation here. Spread your fingers wide and feel earth under your hands. Stability here. And again, that mantra, I am here. And then just start to find that soothing movement of the spine. Inhale to lift your chest and exhale to round your spine, cat and cow. So even with movement, feel foundation. Let those parts of your body on the earth capture your attention even more than the movement. Matching movement with breath. And then just slowly begin to widen up your knees and take your hips all the way back into child's pose. If you have a block or something you'd like to place under your forehead, you can do that here. And I'd like you to just put as much of your body on the earth as you can in child's pose. Feet, shins, knees, maybe elbows or forearms, hands, and forehead. This is also a very grounding posture. And in times of anxiousness, just coming into child's pose to take a few breaths can be a calming action. I am here. If you have something under your head, move it out of the way. Lift up just a little and then thread the needle. Take one arm underneath the other. It doesn't matter which one. Just place the back of one of your shoulders on the mat. Breathe into the space behind your shoulders. Noticing again which body parts are touching the earth. Making a firm foundation. Releasing to take that, thread the needle on the other side. Rolling on to the back of one of your shoulders, allowing for deep breath in the back of the body. I am here. Then let's come back to a tabletop position. Spread your fingers wide. Bring your knees a little closer together. Tucking the toes, we'll lift up into downward facing dog. And let's start down dog with movement. Any kind of movement, shifting and pedaling, arching and rounding. Just move into this posture with breath and exploration. And then just start to lessen the movement and come into stillness. Feel the earth with the tips of your fingers. Kind of squeeze or paw the earth. And then press all of your knuckles into the earth. You have several knuckles in each finger. See if you can press each of those joint into the earth, and just unweight your wrist just a tiny bit. Engage as much of your footprint as you can with the earth. And then from these 4 points, lift your hips up and away. The roots grow deep and the body lifts tall. Breathe. Let's find our way forward now, feet coming to the top of the mat. In Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees more, let your belly rest on the tops of your thighs. Hands wherever you like. Now be aware of your footprints. Wiggle your toes into the earth. Maybe just your big toe and then your second and third, fourth and fifth toes. Just exploring the mat. Press into the ball of your foot on both sides, little toe and big toe. And then press into your heels. Feel your feet rooting into the earth. Exhale long. And then with a bigger bend in the knee, press hands to shins, lengthen out through the crown of the head, still aware of the feet. Slide your hands up to your hip crease, and from there, stand. Let your hips rise you up with a tall spine. Inhale, arms overhead, stretch tall, feet are rooting down, body is lengthening. Take a hold of one wrist and stretch over to the side. And then switch opposite wrist, pull up, lean over, breath moving into and through your body. Let's do that again, each side. Really nice, everybody. Fingertips lift high. On the exhale, lower your hands to your sides. Interlace your hands behind you and open up your chest. Find your feet again. Root down, lift tall. And from the hips, hinge forward. Let your knuckles come up and over. You can nod your head yes, and shake your head no. With that bend back in the knees, release the hands, arms come up high. Exhale, hands behind, interlace, the chest expands, hinge forward, knuckles lift high. Exhale. Let's do that one more time. Big bend in the knees, reach up. Arms behind, interlace, and fold forward. Put another bend in the knees and bring your hands to your thighs. Lift up through the chest, but stay low in your chair. If you have a block that you'd like to use, you're welcome to grab a block and you just place it here between your knees. And what that will do is help you stay really stable through your knees and your hips, your spine, as we move into a twist. So we're going to come down nice and low, hands to heart, and we'll twist first to the right side. So rotating through the torso, let the elbow touch the top of the thigh. And the top hand presses into the bottom hand as the chest opens toward the right side. Feel your feet, your roots, be planted here. I am here with breath, with stability, with strength. Take a deep breath in and release your hands. Come into a forward fold and you can keep squeezing that block. Strong footprints, put that bend back in the knees, hands come to heart. And we'll twist now to the left side. Elbow touches the side, or maybe it's outside. The top hand presses into the bottom hand. Wring it out. Really hug your navel into your spine. Breathing here. As we come back to center, let's reach the arms all the way up. Stretch tall, squeeze your block. Exhale down into chair. And we'll hold just a regular chair this time. Arms can be in close or far away. Core is strong. Feel your roots. Feel your roots. Your feet holding you here to the earth. Gravity and strength. Coming back up, find a little back bend. And let's go one more time down into that chair pose. Utkatasana means fierce. Arms wherever you like. And come up on your toes. Let's try balancing chair. Sit low. Okay, now the roots are just through the toes. So be fierce, be strong about growing roots down through that small part of the body, holding the rest of the body here. Breathe. I am here. And it's hard to be here. But here I am with my breath, with my shaky legs. Release your heels. Straighten your legs and lower to the earth. You can let that block go and tell it thank you for its service. Shake out your legs. Let's press hands to shins. Lift halfway. Let your arms come behind you like airplane. Hug your core nice and tight. And put a bend in the knees. Slowly reach the arms high. Find a back bend. Feel your shoulder blades on your back, your chest open. Feel your roots press down. I am here. Let's interlace our fingers. Bring the hands to the back of the head. Let the head press back into the hands. Feel length in your spine and opening across the chest. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, come back to neutral, arms at the side. Let's hinge from the hips, forward fold. When the hands find the earth, step back downward facing dog. Shifting forward into plank pose. You can be on your knees or your toes, but let's find some stability here. Press into your fingertips, your knuckles, your palm, your toes, and then lift your body up away from those 4 points. Your knees or your toes on the earth, lower halfway down, and then let the rest of your body come to the earth, lifting into cobra. We're just going to pause right here for a moment, feeling the toes pressing into the earth, thighs, hips, low belly, and hands. Breathe. Strength, stability. I am here. And release your chin. Use the strength of your arms to press back into child's pose. Pause in the reverse. Stretching the back. Breathing into your body. Coming up into downward facing dog. Pause here either with movement or stillness, being aware of the earth underneath you. I am here. Looking forward, step or hop to the top of your mat, hands to shins, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms reach high. And then bring your hands to your heart. Pause in mountain pose to feel the earth, to find your breath. I'm going to move through 2 sun salutations, slower than usual, but movement with breath. So feel the earth under your feet and slowly reach arms up. So move nice and slow. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, downward facing dog. I'm going to count this part for you. Inhale, plank pose. Move forward in 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift, 4, 3, 2, 1. And down dog, 4, 3, 2, 1. And so moving that slowly, the pace of slow breath. Pause here. Let another breath go long and loud. Feel the earth. Looking forward, step or hop to the top of your mat. Lift halfway and fold. Arms sweep high and come back to your heart. Good. Let's do one more super slow sun A, and then we'll start to hold our poses. So inhale, arms up, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slow fold, 4, 3, 2, 1. Half lift, 4, 3, 2. Down dog in 4, 3, 2, 1. Come into plank pose, slow. 3, knees or toes. This is the hard part. Slow your lower. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift up. 4, 3, 2, and find your down dog slow. Just breathe here. Feel your breath. Find this space. Earth beneath you. I am here. And we'll take a look forward and either step or hop to the top of our mat, lifting halfway. On the exhale, grab the backs of your legs and pull yourself down. Now that you're warmer, use the strength of your arms to come a little deeper, and you can keep your knees bent. The head reaches down toward the feet. Notice any holding breath. And just sigh your exhale. Bending those knees again, scoop arms high, come all the way up into a little back bend. This time, feel your feet, cactus your arms in that back bend. Pause here. Strong back, soft front. Strong back, solid ground, heart open. Lower your hands to your sides. Good. Pausing here again in mountain pose. Find the earth. Find the earth. I am here. Arms reach high. And slow dive forward. Inhale, half lift, and we'll move again into downward facing dog. It's your choice if you want to take another slow vinyasa, forward, down, up, and back. When you're ready, we'll raise the right leg up in the air. We always pay attention, it seems, to the limbs that are extended, to the movement and the space. But here, feel the earth. Feel the 3 points that are anchoring you down to the earth, gravity. And then the one limb that's able to lift up away from those deep, solid roots. Just feel that. As you're ready, exhale, shift forward, step that right foot to the top of your mat. Let's drop the back heel, and we'll come up into warrior one. Warrior one is a pose of strength. Find those footprints. Make your mark here. Cactus the arms, chest open, squeeze the back. Fingertips come high again. Lower your hands to the earth and just come onto your back toes, coming into a low lunge. And we'll keep that length across that hip flexor as we move into a twist. So left arm down, right arm opens up. Feel the 3 points on the earth here. Hand, foot, toes. Root down and lift your body away from those 3 points. We'll lower the hand to the earth inside the right foot. Walk that foot a little bit wider and let's drop the back knee coming into lizard. So lizard pose, you can stay on your hands or you can drop to 1 or 2 elbows. And then let that front leg just dip out to the side. Let that knee open up. You can prop your head on your hands or a block. Notice earth and where your body is connected. Breathe here. I am here. Allowing the hips to open and feeling the heaviness of this posture, the weight, the gravity. We'll come back to our hands. Draw the knee up, tuck your back toes, and slowly, let's do that 4 counts again. Lift to high lunge. 4, 3, 2, 1. And then feel one solid foot and the back toes rooting you down and lifting up away from those roots. Breathe. I am here. Releasing the hands to the earth. Slowly moving back into downward facing dog. Your choice to stay here, maybe shake that leg out, or flow through vinyasa. Your choice. Feel the earth. When you feel ready, the left leg extends. And then find 2 hands and one foot anchoring you down to the earth, while that left leg pulls up and away. Feel both rooting down and rising up. The deeper our roots, the more powerfully we can rise. As we shift forward, we will step the left foot to the top of the mat, finding a low lunge. The right hand stays down, the left arm opens into the twist. You can be on a knee or toes, whichever feels best to you. Maybe a hand on a block. As you breathe here, feel 3 points pressing into earth, and the rest of your body expanding, opening. So beautiful. Be here now, right here. This little parcel of earth, take up some space here. As that hand comes down inside the foot, we'll drop our back knee and come into lizard. The option is to stay on your hands or drop to your elbows. The knee comes open to find a little more space through the hips. You just might close your eyes here to feel the heaviness of this pose. It's an opening, but it's also a surrender. It's giving our weight to the earth and inviting the earth to hold us. Breathing in, breathing out, feeling the points of body touching earth. Here and now. And coming back. Drawing that knee up, let's tuck our back toes and slow motion 4, rising up to high lunge, 3, 2, 1. Rooting down and lifting up. Shoulders are relaxed, body tall. And just dropping that back heel, coming into warrior 1, a full circle. Feel the strength. Feel your breath. Feel the earth. Feel the exhale. You can lean back a little bit on your in-breath, and as you exhale, hands to mat, downward facing dog. Again, your choice to stay or flow through vinyasa. This helps us build heat, work on our upper body strength. Always an option. Let's raise the right leg high. And as we exhale, we're moving into pigeon pose. So the right knee comes to the right wrist. The back knee drops down. And if this is hard for your knees, you can do this seated in a figure 4 or lying on your back, creating that figure 4. Not everyone's knees love this one. So take a moment, lift really tall. You'll feel that hip flexor stretch again. You can tuck your back toes and just scoot that knee back farther. That's a better idea than sliding the foot forward. And then just lower down. Find elbows maybe. Find hands under the forehead or a block, or maybe all the way to the earth. Allow yourself to sink here. Again, feeling the heaviness of this posture, the weight. Which parts of your body are on the earth? Let those be solid roots. Let there be stability and safety in this posture. Maybe some discomfort. And then just see if you can find safety and stability even with discomfort. Notice your breath. Notice letting go. Slowly begin to press yourself back up to your hands. And we'll just let our bodies kind of shift onto that right hip while the left leg comes all the way around and over the top of that bottom leg. I think I'm going to be backwards in your camera, but left leg is on top, right leg is on the bottom, and we'll keep that knee up for this twist. Take a deep breath in, and as you do, let your arms reach high. Feel your sitting bones on the earth. And as you exhale, twist towards your left side. You can use a hand on the knee, you can use an arm gently pressing against that femur bone. Tall spine. Just wringing out whatever is in the middle here. And as you come back to center, let the arms reach high again. And on the exhale, hands down to the earth on either side of you. See if you can widen out your feet a bit, so essentially stacking the knees a little more on top of each other. And we're going to fold over the legs. So the forehead is coming toward that top knee. Hands are on the earth. Notice which body parts are touching the earth here and just root down a little more. Feel your exhales. As we rise back upright, this left knee is ready to be in pigeon. So you can just position yourself to kind of shift around, dropping that knee to the earth, letting the right leg come back. Maybe not the most graceful way in, but we can get there. If this is uncomfortable, another option is you can always put a block under your hip or a pillow to kind of support you here. Let's stay upright for a few breaths. Feel your back toes tucking under and scoop your back knee backwards. Scoop that right knee back a bit. We'll start to lower down. Elbows. You can stack your fists under your head. We want to make sure to never feel any sharp pain in our knee joint here. So if you're noticing that, stay up a little higher on a prop or move your foot more underneath your body. Sharp pain will send us into our fight or flight. This is the last thing we want in a grounding practice. We want to stay here in this parasympathetic nervous system. Rest and digest. And sharp pain will not allow us to do that. So discomfort will. Just breathe here. Let the earth hold you. Anything you're holding or fighting against, just see if you can let it go right here and just be in this shape. I am here. Notice if you're gritting your teeth or tensing your jaw. See if you can soften something there. And then we'll come back upright, shifting over to the left hip and sweeping that right leg around. You can sit up on a pillow or a block if that helps you be in this pose a little more easily. This is kind of a pretzel-y pose. Let's find the twist. Lift tall, root down through your sitting bones, and then twist. Use your arm or your hand. Inhale, tall spine. Exhale, twist. Just let your mind notice the earth, the places you're touching the earth, the heaviness, the weight here on the earth. It's not a bad thing. Weight is a good thing. Gravity holds us here. Let your bones feel heavy and just sink into the earth. As we slowly return to center, arms come up, feet can get a little wider, and then let your arms come down, touch the floor on either side of you, and begin to fold over your legs. The forehead reaches toward the top knee. Deep, slow breaths, long exhales. As we rise up, let's use our hands to take this leg off the top, planting both of our feet on the earth, a little bit wide. Rest back into your hands and just windshield wiper your knees. Just feel that movement around your hips, your thighs, and your lower back. Good, and then just draw your knees together, hold on to the backs of your legs and roll yourself down onto your back. And as you get there, hug knees to chest. Give a little squeeze. Keeping your hands on your knees, inhale to pull the knees away. Exhale, squeeze tight. Inhale, pull the knees away. Exhale, squeeze tight. Let's do that one more time. Pull away. And squeeze. move into twist. So opening your arms out into a T. Let's drop our knees to the left side. One hand can come on top. Extend the opposite arm and then just look over your right shoulder. In this posture, notice which parts of you are on the earth. Give your body over to gravity, to the earth. No forcing, no pushing, no effort. Just be here. Letting go. Breathing. One more deep breath in and a letting go breath on the exhale. Slowly switch, twisting the knees to the right, extending the left arm. Body just surrendering to earth. Let your exhales begin to be longer than your inhales. As we make our way back to center, we'll start to extend our body out into Shavasana. And so here's where you really can get so much more of your body's surface on the earth. Feet, legs, back, shoulders, head, arms and hands. I invite you as you feel the earth beneath you. Imagine her, Mother Earth, opening her arms wide to cradle you here, to support you, to provide a place for you that's safe, a place where you can rest. You are a weary traveler. It's been a hard 6 months. She wants to hold you. You might almost hear her saying, "Oh, my sweet child, finally. You finally slowed down long enough for me to hold you. Rest here." As you continue resting, just take one more moment to notice your body on the earth, the weight of gravity holding you here for another precious moment, a moment of peace, a moment of connection, a moment in your body and with yourself. Let's see if we can take a little bit of that with us as we transition back to our day. So, as you begin to move your body, move with awareness of this connection you've made with the earth. Slowly coming back to a seat in any way that serves you. I'll leave you with a little exercise that we do with kids in schools all the time. So, anytime you feel yourself being anxious or ahead of yourself or worried, you have three things right here, right now. One is the earth beneath you. So, feel that again. You might use your hands or your hips, but the earth is beneath me. Number two is take one of your fingers and just feel your pulse. You can use that here in your wrist, or you can find it here in your neck. Where do you feel a heartbeat? I always have a beating heart. And then this breath, breathe in through your nose. Sigh it out. I have breath. The earth, and this beating heart, and this breath right here, right now. I hope that's helpful to you. Bring your hands to your heart. Stay grounded. Go pick up some stones and find some ways to put your hands in the dirt today. I hope you have a beautiful and rooted day. Namaste.